麦わら屋どうした？
次の時代を担う強力な海賊たちが新世界へ押し寄せてくる。カイドウを討てるのはそいつらだ。
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another game of Red Purple Luffy versus this time Katakuri, and I ended up winning the dice roll and deciding to go first here. Just what you want to see when you're playing Red Purple Luffy here. And we started off with the turn 1 Nami, kind of looking for something interesting here. Would have loved to see a Zorojuro, did not see one, so instead we go ahead and just pick up an Usohachi 2K. 2K is pretty important in this matchup. Katakuri will pretty much be always swinging 7K at me, so quick little 2K can get out of those swings. As you know, as we get later in the game, there's just going to be a lot of life trashing happening, so definitely want to try to stay pretty healthy for the most part here. We're going to go with another Nami here. We do finally find the Zorojuro, but a turn too late, and we do have the Bond Clay for the next turn here. So instead, you're going to pick up one of the best cards, honestly, in purple decks, especially if you're playing Straw Hat, and that's Gum Gum Giant. That card is an absolute house. Honestly, that card has made me want to just like play different Straw Hats. I have a Robin build, I have a Red Purple Luffy build, I have a Purple Luffy build. That card is just so darn good. And we swing 8K in the leader. Opponent just decides to take it. Does trigger a Robin, allowing them to put a Sparrow into play. Kind of unfortunate for me. Would have preferred to have that Sparrow kind of be a Dawn commitment for the turn, because then now the opponent has a little bit more leeway to do some swinging here. And likely what they're going to do here is going to go ahead and go 7K with good old Sparrow. I'm just going to use that 2K that I pulled out earlier, and then we're going to get an 8K coming at lead here with the +1 on Katakuri. Top life is going to go to the bottom here. We're going to take that one as we don't really want to commit 3 cards to get out of that, since we don't have any 2Ks in hand. And we pick up another Gum Gum Giant, a new Gate Off Life, and a Gum Gum Giant in the hand here. Maybe it was a little unwise to pick up the Gum Gum Giant off the Nami there. Maybe it would have been better to grab a 2K. Did not expect to see this many Gum Gum Giants here, but hey, once we get to the 10 down turn, man, we're going to be countering out of so many attacks and drawing and cycling so many cards here. Going to start with the Bond Clay, going to likely just swing 8K at lead here. This is, oh no, we're going to send it at good old Sparrow, almost said Brule, but Sparrow. So I did recognize, typically I just try to go face, go fast, especially against Katakuri, because once they hit the 10 bombs, life gets quite a bit harder for you playing Red Purple Luffy, just because you already have such little life here. But that Sparrow is just going to keep swinging into me, likely going to be swinging 7Ks. And if you look at my hand, I don't have a whole lot of, I don't have really any counter in my hand. I've got 1K counter in hand, so I'm going to be taking these hits pretty hard because I don't really want to commit a Gum Gum Giant just yet, because I'm trying to ramp here, and I really do not want to set myself back a whole turn. Opponent's just going to play out a Nami, going to pitch out likely some kind of trigger here, another Sparrow, and gonna KO my Bond Clay. Pretty heads up play by the opponent. Bond Clay is a bit of a threat, especially in this matchup here. Once my opponent starts resolving Charlotte Linens, whether it's the 7 cost one or the 10 cost one, we're definitely gonna be using that Bond Clay to swing pretty heavy at my opponent. We're gonna go ahead and ramp up to 9 using Luffy's effect and play out a Newgate here. Newgate, just a fantastic card. Yellow especially does not have a lot of great tools to get rid of big bodies, especially if you're playing Katakuri now, NL, and other yellow decks. Sometimes tend to run Kingdom Come to eliminate some of these bigger threats, but Katakuri not well known for being able to KO things higher than 5 cost. So this Newgate's going to be chilling, and it's going to make me an 8K lead, which is going to make my hand feel the less of a burden here, because I have four non-counter cards, got 2 1Ks and a 2K, so this 8K leader is going to make life just a little bit easier for me. We are on the 8 down turn for my opponent. We could see a 7 cost Mom come down here. If they do that, I'm immediately giving them a life. I cannot set myself down to 0, so it would honestly be pretty unfortunate if they ended up playing that out. A little judge pack appearing on the screen, a little announcement. I am a level 1 judge for One Piece. I have officially passed the exam, so that's pretty cool. So I'm kind of my local community's judge now, originally unofficially, but now officially as well. So it's been pretty awesome. Opponent's going to go and swing 9K in the lead. I'm going to have to give him a 2K to get out of that, go up to 10, and then my opponent's going to play a Gadatsu and just going to take out a Nami. Gadatsu not really being the best card against Red Purple Luffy, because they tend to, immediately sitting at 3 life means you're not going to really be able to KO a whole lot of things here. And especially once they go down to 2, it's going to get pretty hard. But honestly, killing a Nami is kind of good against me. I tend to want to try to swing wide to a degree against Katakuri, so having an extra Nami on board to swing with just 3 Dawn would have been pretty nice. But alas, we've got some other plays in hand. I'm kind of thinking right now if I want to go for the 9-drop Luffy just to go crazy and then keep a Gum Gum Giant up. Alternatively, I could play a Queen into a Yasop as to try to go wide on board here. But we're going to go and start with a 10k at lead. Kind of check my opponent's hand and see if they have anything crazy in life here. We're going to go ahead and take that. Decides not to trigger anything out. And then now, maybe I'm a little more incentivized to play some 5-drops here. But again, we always want to play against around yellow triggers. So we're going to just swing 6k, which is going to get a very expensive counter out for my opponent. That's 2 SP Onamis. We're just going to go ahead and commit with the good old Luffy. We're going to use his ability. Going to go ahead and grab, put back a Dawn, drop a card, then put a Dawn back as per Luffy's ability, and we're going to swing 10k at lead. I think we're just trying to set my opponent down as far as possible. They're going to go to 8k with a 0-cost event, and then they're going to give me a 2k and a 1k here. No, it's just another 8k here, so or 3k. So they're going to go up to 11 counter out of that. Then I'm just going to pass the turn. I've got 2 Gum Gum Giants up. I'm feeling pretty healthy right now to be able to potentially go for game next turn. That's very possible. If my opponent slams down a Big Mom, I'm a little worried, right? So just because that's a little annoying, and likely that could be one of their outs here, as setting themselves to 3 life with knowing at least what their bottom life is. That's going to be a little harder for me to get through, as there potentially is going to be some triggers going on. We've already seen 2 0-cost events come out of hand, so that, you know, the likelihood of them being in life is getting lesser and lesser by the moment, but very possible that there's still going to be a 0-cost event at the bottom of the life, and we could potentially play around that on this next turn here. So opponent's definitely in the tank. I am just prepared to potentially Gum Gum Giant out of things here if need be, but no, we're just going to get a 10-drop Mom. 10-drop Mom's going to get rid of my last life, and the only eligible attacker on field is going to swing here, and we're just going to give a 1k to get out of it. That's one of the benefits of being a 6k leader with Red Purple Luffy, is when the category goes for the Big Mom plays, they typically can't attack with a whole lot else. Would have loved to see maybe like a Rush Luffy here in out of play here, but unfortunately we couldn't find that. We're gonna go ahead and instead swing 10k, and I think what we're gonna do is play out 2 queens here potentially and hold up a Gum Gum Giant. We're gonna go 10k. That 10k is gonna go at lead here. Opponent is gonna beige my leader, so that's pretty unfortunate. I could have potentially set my opponent down to 1 here, as we're likely going to commit the rest of the Dawn resources to play out queens here. We're going to go ahead and look -1, draw 2. We pick up 2 2Ks, which is pretty great, and now we need to get a card to get rid of. We're going to pitch this Zoro Juro, and likely just going to play the other queen here, and then we can use Luffy's effect, at least set up 1 Dawn. That's like the safest play in my mind here, as we're kind of boned off of setting my opponent to 1. Would have loved to set my opponent to 1 here, but that beige off life is pretty good. All right, we're gonna ramp back up, and actually what we're gonna do is we're gonna swing 6 with Nami. We're gonna try to just set my opponent to 1 anyways, and then leave 2 Dawn up, pretty much saying, hey, we're gonna try to counter out of anything you do this turn with 1 blocker up and 2 Gum Gum Giants, and you know, at least what 6k counter in hand plus the 2 Gum Gum Giants. I'm feeling like relatively confident that I'm gonna survive this turn, even if my opponent does play something like a Nami. I get Nami to KO my queen blocker. That would be 5 Dawn there, and then they'd be able, I don't know. It's still tough. It's a tough position to be in. Probably would have felt a little safer to have the queen in play here, but really was trying to 2k check my opponent's hand to try to get out of something here. And we're gonna see a big old swing, a 10k swing come with good old Nami. Opponent knows to play around Gum Gum Giant in this specific situation, so definitely something that they already calculated around. Setting my, going a 10k attack means I still need a 1k counter to get out of it, and we're gonna use a 1k here. We end up picking up another Rush Luffy in hand, so things are looking pretty nice here. Opponent's gonna swing, looks like another 10k, or no, this is 11k here. Likely gonna force the other Gum Gum Giant here, as I'll have to commit a lot less resources to be able to counter out of the Katakuri here versus a 12k swing with the Big Mom. We're gonna go ahead and decide what we want to pitch. Man, decided to keep the 2K in hand and throw away the Gum Gum Giant. Maybe in hindsight could have been nice to keep the other Gum Gum Giant, but we ended up picking up zero cost event and another 2K here. And opponent's going to swing 12K now, and we're going to have to absolutely just take that one here. In hindsight, like, we could have thrown our whole hand there, potentially, right? So 2K, 4K, 10K, 11K, 14K. We could have thrown our whole hand away. But I'm really banking on that Luffy here. But honestly, knowing what happens next, it might have actually been worthwhile to just throw the whole hand away and slap the camera to go for it there. Because opponent shows me a beige to stop my new gate. And then he shows me a zero cost event. Oh my gosh. If I had... Oh man. If I had a queen on board here, I could have swung with Queen and Nami. Opponent has no cards in hand, right? I have one eligible swinger with some Dawn attached, but if I had a Queen in play right now, right, Queen would have been able to swing a 6, we would have attached 3 to Nami, swing 5K, and then hope, just try to dodge another trigger, right, and then swing with Queen to try to finish the game here. But unfortunately, we're just like in a really bad spot right now, so we're just gonna -1 pick up a thing. This is another situation where I was like, man, I really wish I had the Gum Gum Giant here, and I also wish I hadn't pitched that other Queen to the Gum Gum Giant earlier. Opponent's just gonna take it, does not trigger anything, and man, oh man, that was a brutal last 3 life for my opponent. A beige into zero cost event, and unfortunately that's how Katakuri sneaks away with the game here. I had a pretty well fought game. It could have been a great victory, but yellow doing yellow things. In hindsight, would have probably been great to just use full hand to counter out of that. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen, right? You can't see into the future. And little did I know, my opponent had the game from the second turn, right? By already knowing that the last 2 cards were beige into zero cost event. Huge unfortunate thing. But anyways, if you like this type of content, definitely subscribe, join the crew. We're always looking for new crew members. We're getting close to this, we're getting up there. I'd love to see 700 hopefully by the end of the month, so definitely join the crew. We're always dropping new videos multiple times a week, and we'll see you in the next video.